A maçonaria, agora eu não sei se é o século XV ou XVI, depois dá uma gugada aí para me corrigir, ela começou na França. A palavra maçonaria vem de maison, maison em francês é casa. Então, maçonaria são os que constroem casas, os pedreiros.
In 1784, the Illuminati were exposed by the Bavarian government, who issued an edict forbidding all secret societies. They seized documents which exposed the workings of the order and became convinced that they were planning to take over the world by way of revolution. So concerned were they issued an official document to the governments of Europe called the Original Writings of the Order of the Illuminati. Sadly, the powers of Europe did not take the warning or the Illuminati seriously. In 1790, the famed occultist and magician Cagliostro was arrested by the Inquisition in Rome. He told them that he had been initiated into the Illuminati in 1783 and was shown a book which stated that Illuminism was a conspiracy directed against thrones and altars, and that the first blows were to attain France.
The first Illuminist overthrow of a nation was the French Revolution.
Most of us in our world history classes were pretty much taught that the French Revolution was glorious and that the French monarchy was terrible, and so the public finally rose up and broke into the Bastille and took the guns and went out and had a revolution and kicked out the monarchs. That's what we grow up with, but that's not the fact of the matter.
A group of radicals surfaced in France known as the Jacobin clubs that were organized under the direct inspiration of the Bavarian Illuminati. In 1793, Alois Hoffmann, the editor of the Vienna Journal, wrote, "I shall never cease to repeat that the French Revolution has come from Masonry and the Illuminati." The Jacobins vowed to destroy the monarchy and sought to establish what they called a new world order.
The French government was the most liberal in all of Europe, was the least likely to be in need of a revolution.
In 1789, an artificial shortage of grain was created by Illuminist manipulations of the grain market. This produced a famine so intense that it brought the nation to the edge of revolt. The conspirators held up the food supplies and blocked all reforms in the National Assembly to exacerbate the situation, and the populace starved. With the Jacobin propaganda, the people blamed the monarchy, King Louis XVI, and his queen, Marie Antoinette. Antoinette is famous for having said, "Let them eat cake," in response to the starvation of the people. But modern researchers expose the phrase was set down earlier by philosopher Jean-Jacques Rousseau in 1766, while Marie Antoinette was only 10 years old. As one source writes, the saying was attributed to Marie Antoinette in 1789 by radical agitators who were trying to turn the populace against her. As a result of such lies and propaganda, King Louis XVI and his queen were overthrown and murdered on behalf of the revolution. King Louis seems to have been a more compassionate ruler than historians often credit him for. When the revolutionaries broke into the royal palace, his Swiss guard was slain because they were ordered not to fire upon the people. At his execution, Louis said, "I pardon those who have occasioned my death, and I pray to God that the blood you are going to shed may never be visited on France." While pretending to fight for the rights of the people, the Jacobins with their satanic agenda became more bloody and tyrannical than most monarchies have ever been. Terror was rampant in the streets of Paris. The full horror of government by Satanism was being played out, complete with human butcherings and cannibalism. During the Reign of Terror, approximately 18,000 citizens were sent to the guillotine, and many more died in prison without being formally brought to trial. Adam Weishaupt sent his hand-picked representative into Paris, a man named Anacharsis Clootz. Clootz arrogantly claimed to be the orator of mankind. He then set about to remove all traces of Christianity from France. He even abolished Sunday and attempted to create his own calendar. But perhaps the most ghastly and horrific element of the French Revolution was a program that would set a pattern for wicked governments ever after. In 1793, the revolutionary leaders embarked upon a fearful new project called depopulation.
They attempted to reduce the population of France, which at the time was 25 million, they decided they were going to reduce that down to 16 million. Why? Because there was high unemployment as a result of the French Revolution. So their answer to unemployment was kill about 9 million people.
The Jacobins toiled over maps and selected in each region the number of citizens to be murdered. While the depopulation program failed to achieve its goal of slaughtering 9 to 17 million people, the death toll taken at the time records about 300,000 murdered. More than a century later, Adolf Hitler would refer to his Nazi movement as the exact counterpart of the French Revolution. Dr. Brzezinski, the former National Security Advisor in 1993, estimated that in the 20th century, 167 to 175 million lives were deliberately extinguished by politically motivated carnage. Many have come to believe that such carnage began with the Jacobin depopulation program. In time, the Jacobins desired to foment a second revolution in America.
They wanted to bring the French Revolution over to America, which was after the American Revolution, but the American Revolution didn't turn out the way the French Revolution did. Christianity remained very strong and a strong part of the new American government, where religion was eliminated in France by the French Revolution. So the French didn't like that. They wanted to come and have re-revolution in America.
In 1785, the Columbian Lodge of the Order of the Illuminati was established in New York City. Oddly enough, the Illuminati were supported by some Americans, most notably Thomas Jefferson. Jefferson publicly defended Adam Weishaupt and attacked those who wrote exposures of the Illuminati. Alexander Hamilton, the Secretary of the Treasury, charged that Jefferson had helped to foment the French Revolution, while the Reverend Jedediah Morse, the father of Samuel B. Morse, who invented the telegraph, declared that Jefferson was an Illuminatus. Jefferson's tombstone seems to best define his true faith, an Egyptian obelisk that he himself designed prior to his death. Like the all-seeing eye, the obelisk is a symbol of the ancient mystery religion, the same worship of Freemasonry and the Illuminati. The idea of the Illuminati, or of a plan for the overthrow of nations, was not always considered the stuff of conspiracy theorists and fanatics. It was written of by men like George Washington. So concerned was Washington over the Jacobin threat in America that he came out of retirement and again accepted the appointment of Commander-in-Chief of the Army to fight against the movement. In 1798, Washington wrote, "I have heard of the nefarious and dangerous plan and doctrines of the Illuminati. It was not my intention to doubt that the doctrines of the Illuminati and the principles of Jacobinism had not spread in the United States. On the contrary, no one is more fully satisfied of this fact than I am." There are many such references concerning the presence of Illuminism in America. Reportedly, Harvard's Houghton Library contains numerous sermons, pamphlets, and books denouncing Illuminism or the Illuminati during the late 1790s and early 1800s. Warnings were even preached in churches, such as this 1812 sermon by the Reverend Joseph Willard, who said, "There is sufficient evidence that a number of societies of the Illuminati have been established in this land of gospel light and civil liberty, which were first organized from the Grand Society in France. They are doubtless secretly striving to undermine all our ancient institutions, civil and sacred."
A França, ela leva o lema da maçonaria até hoje, que é igualdade, liberdade e fraternidade. Então a maçonaria, ela surgiu na França. E nós sabemos que são os maçons que vão erguer o templo em Jerusalém. São os maçons que vão erguer o templo. O sonho deles é ver o templo construído. Então, Emmanuel Macron, ele é maçom. É ele que vai dar ordem para erguer o templo em Jerusalém. Em Apocalipse, capítulo 17, meus irmãos, fala de uma besta com 7 cabeças. E o capítulo 17, versículo 9, fala que as 7 cabeças são 7 reis. Lá não fala 7 reinos, fala 7 reis. Quem são esses 7 reis? Esses 7 reis são 7 imperadores. O número 7 significa plenitude, completo. Porque 7 imperadores governaram o mundo e hão de governar ainda. Por quê? Porque 6 já se passou. Falta o 7º surgir. E o 7º é Emmanuel Macron. Eu já lancei um vídeo falando sobre isso aí no YouTube. Aí. É por isso que ele é chamado de O Imperador. Olha a revista aí. Ele é o último imperador que vai governar o Império Romano agora na volta de YAUH. No livro de Apocalipse, capítulo 17, fala de uma mulher montada na besta. A mulher é a Igreja Católica. A besta é o Império Romano. Hoje quem está liderando o Império Romano é a Igreja Católica. Porém, essa mulher ela vai ser tirada de cima da besta para que o último imperador possa governar essa besta, possa governar esse império. Então, a Igreja Católica ela vai cair. Por isso que no livro de Apocalipse, capítulo 18, fala que ela vai ser consumida com fogo. O Império Roma ali vai ser totalmente destruído e Emmanuel Macron, o último imperador, ele vai ser colocado como líder desse último império que vai estar surgindo agora, o Império Romano. Ele é que vai estar na liderança desse império aí, ó. Então tudo está programado para agora, meus irmãos. Então é como eu falei num vídeo passado meu aí, meus irmãos. Eu falei que tudo começou na Europa e tudo vai terminar na Europa. O Anticristo, ele vem da Europa. E o país principal da Europa é a França, meus irmãos. A maçonaria, ela começou na França. O Emmanuel Macron, nós sabemos que ele é maçom. A capital mais famosa do mundo, meus irmãos, é a capital de Paris. Paris se encontra na França. É uma cidade turista. É a cidade mais visitada do mundo, é Paris. Todo mundo quer ir para Paris. Então, meus irmãos, nós podemos ver que tudo está relacionado com a França. A moeda lá da França é a mesma moeda da Europa, é o euro. E no euro aparece uma mulher montada numa besta, igual está lá no livro de Apocalipse. Mostrando então que tudo está relacionado com a Europa e está relacionado com a França. A França ela faz parte dos 10 dedos da estátua do sonho de Nabucodonosor. A França faz parte do antigo Império Romano, dos 10 países dali que vai dar o poder para a besta, que vai dar o poder para o Anticristo governar durante 3 anos e meio. 1 tempo, 2 tempos e metade de 1 tempo. Interessante, meus irmãos, que até o Papa, para poder se alinhar com a França, mudou o seu nome. Seu nome é Jorge Mário Bergoglio, mas ele mudou para Papa Francisco. Francisco significa francês. Então, ele está querendo aí se ligar à França. Por quê? Porque Emmanuel Macron, ele vem da França. Sabemos que foi na França também que surgiu a guilhotina. A guilhotina surgiu, foi na França. E no livro de Apocalipse, capítulo 20, fala que todos aqueles que não adorarem a besta e adorarem a sua imagem, que não estiverem no deserto, no lugar do refúgio, serão decapitados. Então, por aí nós podemos ver, a guilhotina, ela surgiu na França. Sem contar, meus irmãos, que foi na França que surgiu Napoleão Bonaparte. Napoleão Bonaparte, para quem pesquisa aí, sabe que ele foi um tipo do Anticristo. Napoleão Bonaparte, Adolf Hitler, tudo foi uma tipologia do Anticristo. Então, Napoleão Bonaparte, ele tinha até moeda própria. Então, olha onde Napoleão Bonaparte nasceu. Nasceu na França. Emmanuel Macron, ele vem da França. O filho da perdição, ele surge na França. A história nos mostra, meus irmãos, que a Revolução Francesa foi o começo do mundo moderno. Ou seja, nós conseguimos ver através dessa Revolução Francesa que tudo começou, foi ali na Europa. Para ser mais preciso, né? Na França. Essa questão da liberdade, igualdade e fraternidade, essa questão surgiu na maçonaria. Então o que acontece? O Anticristo, filho da perdição, ele é maçom. A maçonaria surgiu na França. Então tudo surge ali na Europa. A guilhotina vem da França. Foi ali que surgiu a guilhotina. Então essas questões aí que nós estamos passando para os irmãos, tudo vem da Europa. E tudo vai acontecer na Europa, porque é da Europa que vem o filho da perdição, meus irmãos. É da Europa que surge o Anticristo, o antimachia. Ele vai surgir ali com os 10 países dando poder para ele.
Ist politischer Frischling und Shootingstar. Ist Frankreichs jüngster Präsident aller Zeiten. Ist Europas größte Hoffnung.
Je crois que notre génération doit savoir que la bête de l'événement est là. Et elle arrive.